Welcome back to the AB Skill Project. I'm Krieger. This is Alpha Bravo, and today we're starting off with this alien creature. Ooh, actually, it's Powerglide with his accessories. You got to pop the thing up to flip around to change. And you have, get that centered. We have Powerglide. So this is the new Age of Prime's Powerglide, and I really like this. I think this gets the character down pat. You got the Hoist Goes Hollywood mask that comes with it that you can store on his generic Autobot blaster, because you got a little gap here, you got a tab there. You just stick those in between there, and you can keep the mask on his gun so you don't lose the mask. So that's pretty cool. Articulation wise, got to kind of pop the head up to get it to move, but then the head moves pretty freely. Not bad. He can even stare at his own wing. But all good. Arms are really stiff on this axis here. Great here. All this is good. Nothing in the wrist. Has waist. He kind of runs into his own kibble there as far as getting the leg out. But otherwise, the knee is kind of stiff. But yeah, just a smidge bit of ankle tilt. And then trying to get it back can be a little painful. There we go. So, put the mask back on the blaster here. So, articulation-wise, not bad at all. He also has a compartment with his heart inside of it. Let's see if you can see that. So, yeah, pretty neat. So, that other thing from that other episode. So, the back, it's actually pretty clean. Just a hollowness here, and that's because that's where his hands go. But otherwise, pretty cool. We'll talk about this faux tampo later. So, yeah. Pretty cool. And you can take his gun and mask and store it on his back if you want to. So, yeah, turn that around. There we go. So that you can have him carrying his gun and still have his hands free. All right. In comparison, that does make him a little back heavy. Let's go ahead and put that back in his hand. In comparison, we're going to go ahead and bring in the current winner, the Combiner Wars. And you can see the Combiner Wars seems like it's kind of yellowed out on the arms and legs after a while. And you can see that this is a much stronger representation of Powerglide than this is, with the lots of ball joints and just not as Powerglide. We'll just say that. All right, let's go ahead and check out the plane mode. Powerglide is A10 Warthog mode, and you can see there's some inaccuracies there, like the engines being at wing level. But this is kind of how he appeared in the cartoon, especially with the centered gun. But overall, not too bad. You can still see his legs there. But yeah, you can store his gun up here, or you put it under one of the wings, and you can take the mask and either put it on the gun like that, or you can stick the mask on his face and have him flying around like that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take those off for now for the sake of comparison. Get his head tab back in there. Move that aside. And then we pull in the Combiner Wars, which is more accurate with the actual guns above the wings. And of course, these things are so loose back here. Anyway, and the offset gun. But yeah, this is more what he appeared in the cartoon, because he was overly simplified in the cartoon, where this is more the actual Warthog, which, is really good. I like that. And again, legs are exposed on this one too. So, yeah, kind of partial. And these things on the Combiner Wars just were never very tight to begin with. Whereas this Powerglide, it is fully tight. These guys don't want to stay tabbed in. But it is, all the joints are really tight on this one. So, not too bad. Is it inaccurate? Yes, but not too bad for an alt mode. Then they gave us the faux rub sign here, so it's not going to do anything, so it's just painted on there. Just so it looked like the original toy, kind of a throwback to the original toy. So that's pretty neat. And I saw Toy Hacks' kit, had one you put on there so it looked like it'd been rubbed. But yeah, that's really about it for Powerglide. So let's do our final determination. So is this our new IDW G1 Powerglide? I'm going to say yes. Granted, we do lose the ability to turn Powerglide into a gun. I'm probably going to still turn him into a gun, give him back to Superion, and just leave him on the shelf. So yeah, our new IDW G1 Powerglide is the new Age of Primes. And that knee joint is stiff. Alright, there we go. There we go. That's our new one. Alright, let's go on the next one. And lastly for the day, I thought I'd share a find that I found at Amazing Action Comics in Oklahoma City. And this is really cool. We found the E-Hobby Ghost Starscream, the G1 version. So this is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty much all transparent plastic, so I'm kind of scared to transform it and move it, but it's still pretty cool. There's little specklies in the red here to make it look more ghostly, even though that's still that solid colored die cast. Everything is still the Starscream G1 Seeker mold, but it's cool kind of to see on the inside of everything. So that's pretty cool. And plus you have this ephemeral Starscream. And I did get his center post landing gear. Got his 2 clear missiles. Got his card. So we can get where you can see that. Pretty neat. No stats or anything on the back, just a front card. His sticker sheet that I'm probably never going to apply. And his Japanese instructions. So, pretty cool set. Like I said, I'm probably not going to put these on because it'll make it less transparent, where this looks very ghost-like, and I can say, you know, he's transcended his need for stickers or for such things as factions, although we know he was still very evil as a ghost. But yeah, pretty cool and classic G1 articulation. That's it. So, not much more to talk about the G1 Seeker mold. So, and of course it's not going to win because it's G1, because, you know, that's all the articulation. I can bring in Acid Storm here just so you can see how much shorter the G1s were than our current batch. And then you can also see him next to Alpha Bravo here to see that he's actually a smidge shorter than the old Deluxes. So he's about a smidge taller than the new Deluxes. So, yeah, not a whole lot to say. We'll go ahead and get him in the jet mode so you can see that. And then we are probably just going to close this out. Alright, let's check out the jet mode. And here we have Ghost Starscream in his jet mode, and he looks really good. And the original G1 did emphasize a lot on getting that F-15 Eagle look, and it looks really good, and just seeing it all in clear plastic makes it seem like this is a gem. I mean, it just looks like it should be precious. Yeah. Just look at that. That's pretty cool. Still has the rubber tip there, so that's why that's solid, and then the die-cast bits that are solid, but the rest of it you can see everything that's going on here. And these do have the full spring on them, so one wrong move and I've lost a missile. But overall, this is just gorgeous. I mean, that's all I can say. That is pretty cool. Oh, my sticker's coming off. Yeah. Anyway, so put him down for a sec. We'll bring in size comparison. We'll bring in Powerglide here so you can see how they stack up in there. Yeah. Bring in the Acid Storm there so you can see how he looks next to a modern, well, the Siege Seeker anyway. So yeah. And there's a reason why Acid Storm's on hand for this video, but that's not going to be till next video. So, alright, let's go ahead and wrap this up. And that's it for the day. We got something old, something new, something in every episode, you know. And a little bit of blue. So, thanks for joining us today on the AB Scale Project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and ring that bell. And I'll see y'all later.